One of the biggest pain points that I had when I first started was keeping track of all of my orders, my customers, how much I've been charging them, and really just keeping everything organized. And there's a few features that I wish I had when I first started, things like gang sheet builders, because a lot of gang sheet builders out there or a lot of different services out there won't give you the full resolution download. So just so you know, most of you should know this already, but when you go to upload a gang sheet for your DTF transfers, wherever it is that you order them, you need to have it at 300 DPI. And most places cap you at 72 DPI. And a lot of places don't even give you the option to, make long gang sheets that you can download yourself and keep on your computer or just reuse. So that's just one of my favorite features of PrintFlow, but I'm going to show you everything that I came up with and how everything works. It's super simple. Let's just go ahead and get straight into it. So when it comes to PrintFlow, this is the dashboard that you get greeted with once you sign up. Now here you're going to have all of your different projects that you currently have. They are automatically sorted into pre-production, into in progress, and completed. And this is dependent on the status. Then we have this one over here for Eliza Thornberry. It was under needing quote, but if I switch it to quoting, it goes to the pre-production. Then if I switch it to, let's say, embroidering, it goes to in progress. And then if I put completed, it's going to switch down to completed. So this is all automated for you. Now from this screen, you also have the option to be able to change your payment status. So has a deposit been paid, no deposit, or if you have this due on completion. Now up here, we have all of our stats. So how many projects do we currently have? How many are due today? How many are overdue? So let's see this one right here, right? Let's do a due date. Today is the 18th. Let's put it for the 11th. You're going to see that we have one that's overdue now, and it's telling you that it's overdue. Now this one I do have marked as rush order. I'll show you that in just a second. But then we also have our total revenue. This takes into consideration all of the different orders that you have and your actual total profit. So how much money have you made? Now we can go ahead and start to filter our different orders. If we have tons of different ones, we can filter them through here. And you also have the option to select multiple, change the status, change the payment, or delete. Now, if we do want to add a new order, it's super easy. All you do is click on new job. And then here you're going to select our customers. So I have already 4 of them. These are my biggest customers. I got Wiz Khalifa, Eliza Thornberry, Johnny Walker, and Mark Wahlberg. But if I want to make a new one, I can do it directly from this page. So let's say I want to add Snoop Dogg because Wiz Khalifa invited him. I don't know. So here we do DOGG at snoop.com. We can put a phone number if we choose to, any customer notes. We have to name our project, so we're going to do Snoop shirts. What are we doing? Are we going to be doing DTF? Are we going to be doing embroidery? Are we going to be doing both? Are we going to be doing screen print transfers and DTF? Sometimes I do that, so let's choose both of those. And you can also choose a custom job type, so you can add your own type if you want. So let's say if you're doing, I don't know, print and cut, for whatever reason you want to put that here, you can do that. Next, we have the garment selections. So we can choose how many t-shirts and how many sweatshirts and how many hats we're selling. We have all of that information here. We can go ahead and save that if we choose to. I'm just going to keep t-shirts. I'm going to put Gildan's. Actually, no. Original favorites. I don't see Snoop Dogg using Gildan's. And then color, let's do purple. Because, purple haze. Now, 5 mediums, 4 larges. Any notes? And then we have our shipping costs. So this is what's taken into consideration when we see those numbers on our dashboard. So if you're using your pricing and costs on this page, then it is going to be updated on your dashboard. So how much are we charging for this? I don't know, let's do $800. Our material cost is $300, so we're making a $500 profit. Now we can choose our payment status. I'm going to do deposit paid because Snoop paid me, I don't know, already $500. So that means we have a pending payment of $300. Now, as far as our workflow and status. So earlier we chose DTF and screen print transfers, and we can actually be specific as to what step each one of them is in. So DTF, I currently have it on waiting for customer approval because I already sent them the artwork. I'm waiting for them to approve it. But the screen print transfers, these are pretty much already done and are ordered. So I'm just waiting on the materials for these. So you can go ahead and interchange these. Now, as you saw on the dashboard, we do have the option to rush order, so we can go ahead and turn that on and off. We have a due date. Let's say if we have a due date of the 21st and we have an expected completion of the 24th, I don't know. It says that your completion is after the due date. So we want to fix that. Let's do it for the 20th. So we're good to go. And we have the option to automatically generate an invoice for the project. So I did include the option to create invoices, and these invoices you're able to attach to specific projects. So that way you can keep everything organized. So let's just go ahead and generate one and then click on Save Project. All right, so here we have in progress, we have Snoop shirts. Now these are currently in progress because both of these statuses are under in progress. But if one of them is in quoting, then it's gonna go back to pre-production until both of these are in a in progress status. So let's say pressing shirts, that's in progress. Now to switch it to completed, if you have multiple job types, they both have to equal completed. And then it switches over. Now let's say somebody wants to do a reorder and you already have this one over here, right? Let's say Mark Wahlberg wants the same trip shirts. You can go ahead and click on this. You can click on copy and it's going to create a copy for you and it's going to put it in the pre-production stage for quoting. We are going to have to change our payment to whatever it may be. But as you can see, everything here is very accessible and very easy to use. Now let's go down the list of everything else that we have because we have a lot of different stuff that you gain access to be able to help you out with your entire business right from the start, right from when you get started. So we have a customers tab. This is probably one of my favorite tabs because I've always had my customers and my contacts and it just mixes in with everybody else that I have. And it's just too much. Sometimes I have, let's say 2 Juans, right? One Juan is my cousin while the other one is one of my customers and then another one comes along. So yeah, you can differentiate it, but it gets annoying. So here you have a nice little database that tells you not just the customer's information, but also how many projects you have for them. And if we click into it, you can also see how many invoices are attached to this customer. So all of the invoices that we make, we're going to have the option to attach them to a customer and jobs. Now we can add any customer notes. We can go ahead and see how much money they've made us or how much money this customer has brought in. So Mark Wahlberg has brought in a total of 3,176, 2,222 of that was profit. While on average, I've been making with him about $1,111 average profit per job. Obviously, there's only 2 jobs, so there's not too much to go on based on that, but it does take all of your different orders into consideration. So then you have your invoices, like I said earlier. We can go ahead and click into these if we choose to. And then we have our past jobs. So we can see all of the different jobs that Mark Wahlberg has brought in. We can also go ahead and create a new job directly from here. We can edit our customer, or we can simply just delete them. Then we have our invoices tab. These are the different invoices that we have. You can see here how many you have total, how many have been paid, how many are pending, and how many are overdue. We can go ahead and create an invoice directly from here. We're going to choose our invoice number. So for this, we're going to do S555, 87, whatever it is that you want. The status for this, I'm going to mark it as send because I'm going to send it right afterwards. The invoice date, today's due date, you can choose that if you want to. Customer name works the same way as before. You can either type in a brand new customer or you can choose one from your current selection of customers. So let's do another one for Eliza Thornberry. You already have everything pre-filled. The line items, so t-shirts, we're going to do 50 of them at, $10, $500. We can add a tax rate here if we choose to. Florida has a 7% tax. And then we have an option to add any notes. And then we can either save the invoice to the platform or we can save and export. Now, when you save and export, what it does is it brings it up this way. It has your logo. Here it's showing the PrintFlow logo, but you do have the option to upload your own logo. And then you have the rest of the information here. And it pretty much simply saves it as a PDF. So you can take that PDF and then just email it or send it to anybody that you need to. And then you also have it here just in case you want to see it. Now, if we go back to the invoices, we have the different invoices here. We have our invoice number. We have the option to change the payment status. And we have the option to select multiples and either delete or change the status directly from here. Now we have profit reports. So this page literally just has everything that you need to know about all of your clients, about all of your jobs, how much money you've made, which ones make you the most money. So you have total revenue month to date, total profit month to date. Same thing goes for year to date. And you have some performance metrics. So what's your average profit per order? Obviously, these are some pretty inflated stats because I just used a few different sample orders. And these are some pretty high profile customers, let me tell you. Wiz Khalifa, Snoop Dogg, Mark Wahlberg, Eliza Thornberry. But anyway, this also gives you who your most profitable customer is and your most profitable job type. So have I made more money? So have I made more money with HTV or have I made more money in this case with screen print transfers? Top 10 clients based on their profit or how much money you've made. And same thing for jobs, screen print, HTV, embroidery. So this is something that's very neat because it lets you see really what's working the best for your business. Then we have our pricing instructions. This is something that I've always wanted to do because there's just so much confusion around there, and that you have to go to so many different websites to get this information. Now, this is going to be continuously built. And if there's any companies that want me to add their information onto here, then just let me know, reach out to me, and we'll work something out. Now, on here, if we click into, let's say, HTV, we have the option for all these different brands. So let's click into Caesar. And now we have all of the different Caesar brands here. We have EasyWeed, EasyWeed Stretch, EasyWeed Extra. And if we click into, let's say, the metal, we're going to see that we have the temperature, we have the time, the peel, and the pressure. Now, same thing is going to go for DTF, screen print transfers, and the rest, right? Screen print transfers, we have a few here. Pro World, we'll click on the easy transfers. You have the information on here. Then we can go to sublimation. Let's say I want to do just a regular t-shirt. So polyester, we have 385 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 to 60 seconds. Your pressure and your peel. Now, this next one is actually my favorite, which is the gang sheet. Now, like I mentioned earlier, most places when you download the gang sheet or when you download a gang sheet from them, it's going to be at 72 dpi. This one, I made it specifically to export your PNG images at 300 dpi. So that way, you know for sure you can use this for really any DTF provider that you have. My recommendation, always use Pro World, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. So here, we can go ahead and switch our width and we can switch our height. So let's say I'm making a 22 inch by 36 inch gang sheet. You can see the canvas expands. We can click on images or to add any images. All right, so for now, I just went ahead and added 3 different ones. So they're currently being uploaded. These are the 3. We have the option to resize. We can resize all of them, drag and move, or drag and drop. We can right click, copy and paste. We can make multiples. We can rotate them through here if we choose to. We can adjust up here to switch from inches to pixels. So we can go ahead and choose that if we want to. And we have the option to clear, which will really just take everything out. Now, I did say that you can change the width and the height. This isn't just relevant for DTF transfers. If you want, you can just add one image on here. Let's say you're doing single color screen print transfers. You can add just one image on here, adjust this to 12 by 12, and then that's the artwork that you can upload to your screen print transfer company. Now, from here, all we do is simply click on export 300 dpi, and let me prove to you that this is 300 dpi. So it's up here, right? You can already tell it's pretty big, 19 megabytes, and there's only 4 images on here. But let me pull up Photoshop really fast. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag and drop my image on here. So this is our gang sheet. As you can see, the background is transparent. Our images are transparent. Now what we need to do is just click on image size, and you can see here that we have 22 inches by 36 inches at a resolution of 300. This is prime. This is what you need. I've been printing t-shirts for, I don't know what, like 5-6 years now. And I've learned so much through trial and error. And I've realized that there's so many services out there that don't really give you what you need. So I figured, let me just make something that can give you everything, right? Or at least the majority, and we can keep building on it. But anyway, then we have the profit calculator. Now this one is kind of similar to the other one that I have, except I did automate it a little bit. I made it a little bit better, and I made it more interactive. So our total t-shirt cost is going to be $1,000. Total number of shirts, let's say we have 100. Our transfers cost us $50 for 100 transfers. So we can see that our seller total cost is at $1,050. Our profit amount is $315. Our buyer's price is $1,365. I'll show you how to change that just now. The price per printed shirt for our customers is going to be $13.65, which equals this right here. So the cost for us is $10.50 for the shirt and the transfer. The shirt is $10, the transfer is $50. Hourly total if we choose to, and we have fees. Now this is something different because I know a lot of us sell on Etsy, and we can't really take into consideration our fees. So I'll show you that in just a second. Now we have miscellaneous costs. So if you spent an extra $100 for whatever reason, we can add that on here, and it adds it to the seller's total cost and the buyer's total price because we are going to pass on any miscellaneous fees to our customers. We have the option to add an hourly rate. So if we're making $20 an hour, if we want to make $20 an hour for 5 hours, we have an extra $100 there. Now let's get rid of that. Actually, let's make this simple. And now let me show you the fee percentage. So Etsy is going to charge you a 6% fee. So let's do 6% here. And we can see that in total fees for this particular job, let's say we sold it on Etsy, it's going to be $81.90. Now these fees, you have the option to be able to subtract the fee from your profit, or to take that, or to pass that fee on to your customer. So by default, it is turned off, but if we go ahead and turn it on to subtract it from the profit, it's going to increase our total cost, and it's going to essentially decrease the buyer's total price. But then if we turn it off, our total cost is going to be the same, and the fee is going to be passed on to our customers. So we know exactly how much of the fees we're taking on, or we're really just passing on to our customers. And then we have a couple of recommendations down here. So if you want to click on any of these, you can get a few different recommendations for my heat press, some blanks, and a screen print or DTF transfers if you want to get like pricing and stuff like that. And then we have a profit margin. So this right here is a slider. We can go ahead and increase, and you can see that the price per shirt for a customer increases, same does the total price and our profit. Or we can lower this, and we have everything just adjusts automatically, including the fees and everything. And then we have a contact button. So if you have any issues, if you want to report any bugs, anything that I need to fix, just go ahead and send an email to this right here, printflowapp@gmail.com. Remember, printflowapp.com. This is 100% made by me. Nobody helped me out. I did absolutely everything. So if you check it out, if you subscribe, you are directly supporting me and not a third-party company or anything like that. So with that, huge thank you to everyone for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end. Again, make sure you let me know what you think of this. Smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. My name is Mario with Neko Prints, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.